Once we take the stand that every employee should know the basic information or should have a basic knowledge about competency mapping, often a question arises. Therefore, what is the point of having HR? What is the role of HR? What role does the HR management department or HR department do? I think HR has a professional role to perform in ensuring that all employees in the organization have a common understanding of competency mapping, number one. And number two, a professional, thorough, and systematic exercise of competency mapping is done for every role in the organization. And if they like, this is an additional kind of a thing, if they like, once the competency mapping is done for all roles, and a role directory or a competency directory is prepared, the HR department can sit with the top management, understand the future directions of the organization, and make sure that the competency is required to lead the organization into future is incorporated into all critical and strategic roles in the organization. This is HR's role. This cannot be done by all line managers unless the line managers are trained to do that, tuned to do that, and particularly the heads of the departments or functional heads and other senior executives in an organization are partners in preparing strategic plans and thinking about the future of the business. If they do that and if they also participate in competency mapping, then I think HR's roles get minimized. However, in order to do that, I think it is where the HR directors or HR heads perform a very important role of developing an appreciation for competency mapping in the minds of all people. Once you have done, I think the next important HR's role is to ensure that the competency mapping exercise that has been done in the company is utilized well for recruitment, and therefore prepare recruitment strategies for the company and also prepare performance management systems using the competency mapping exercise that has been done, and use it for inducting both the newcomers to the organization at the lowest level, junior-most level, or at lateral level if there are lateral appointments and so on. Therefore, it is the job of HR to incorporate the competency mapping exercises that have been done into a various HR systems, develop leadership pipeline, conduct assessment and development center, identify developmental needs periodically of people based on the competency mapping exercises, improve performance or ensure performance improvements, and on the top of all of it, periodically review the competency profiles that are there in the organization and update this so that the organization is constantly kept up to date with the competency framework and so on. HR managers, very unfortunately, in many of the companies, think that their job is over if they have a competency model and then they have a competency dictionary. And they're very proud to say we have competency framework and competency dictionary, but they may lack the basic understanding of competencies. Your competency mapping, remember, is not complete unless you have for each role, at least for each critical role, the purpose of the role and its linkages with the vision of the company, goals of the company, the internal customers, external customers are what we call as role set members, key performance areas, activities associated with each KPA, and critical competencies that are required to perform all critical activities, and of course a summary of competencies including the indicators of behavior of these competencies. I suppose this would help you to make sure that you have the right kind of role performed by your HR department as far as the competency mapping is concerned. If not, I think you have a right to demand from your HR department what is the competency framework of my own role, where do I get information, how do I make sure that all my colleagues in the company are aware of what is expected of me and what kind of competencies are supposed to be exhibited by me and so on. This is a good way to build a competency focused organization.